All right, so we're here with the next episode of Two Powerlifters Getting Coffee. Never thought I'd made it to episode 2. We got Matt Genge.
What's up, guys?
You probably know Genge from Worlds, Commonwealths. What else have you done in the past couple months?
Yeah, it's been a busy couple months, but yeah, a couple international meets and just trying to survive.
I hear you on that one. Where are we going for coffee?
Don't matter to me.
Cool.
Where we want.
Stick with McDonald's. It's the classic.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so how you been, man? I haven't seen you since, I guess,
Probably before
Provs?
Worlds.
I would say Provs.
Yeah, probably. When you were training here.
Training here and you were handling at Provs.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been good. Obviously busy couple months. Just 2 international meets in. It was 4 weeks, so that was a lot. But yeah, it's
Came out of it with some medals.
Came out of it with a few medals, so yeah, that was nice. I can go over that if you want.
Yeah, same as we did with Kev. So go over the most recent meet, or most recent 2 meets if you kind of want to talk how they ran into each other.
Well, I can start how I qualified for them. So I did Easterns here, and then whoever had the highest qualifying out of the 3 regional meets in that year would have like first choice at what international they wanted to do if it was only one. And then I had the highest total, so I decided to go to Junior Worlds in Malta. That was in September. And then yeah, I went there and it was fun. Worlds is hard. Worlds is very hard. It's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't expect from like just doing locals and whatever in Canada. Even national level, it's a lot different. So just getting that international experience was nice. Like, I can't say I felt out of place there, but like it is intimidating. It like squats was fine. I felt like I was meant to be there for squats. I came out with bronze on squat, so that was nice. I squat 315, and then bench was alright too. I fell about middle of the pack on bench with a 180 bench, and then I missed my third at 182. And then deadlifts is my weak point, so I think I came like 3rd last or something in deadlift. So, I mean, what can you do? And then I came 13th overall, which is not what I wanted. I wanted top 10 maybe, but that's just how it goes, and you live and you learn. And then I took a little vacation. I went to Portugal for a week, so that was nice. And I obviously still trained there because I had Commonwealths in 4 weeks after that. So then I came home. I had 1 solid block here, and then I was off again to South Africa. And then we'll wait until we get coffee to talk about that one.
What do you want?
Just medium black.
Medium black.
How are you collecting any points in the app today?
Not today, no.
What can I get for you?
Could I get a medium black coffee and a medium 2 milk, 2 sweetener?
Yep.
That's everything.
Alright, you can drive on ahead.
So yeah, Commonwealths. It was a lot of travel for that one. It was about 32 hours of travel.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So that was hard on the cut, for sure. I got there, I think it was only 2 days before I competed. So I got there and then just started doing whatever I needed for my weight. And then the meet itself went really well. I had a 9 for 9 day with a PR on squat with 317, and that got me gold. And then a PR on bench with 182, and that got me silver. And then a match PR on deadlift at 287.
Hello, 2 coffees?
Yeah.
$2.90, please.
Let's debit.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, so PR match on deadlift with 287, and then I got gold overall, which was nice, with 787 total. And the goal was going in that best junior could be there. Just looking at the other classes and where they were at. But there was a couple guys that were stronger than I thought, and then it was just out of reach. That was it.
That's the black
Thank you.
one.
Perfect.
Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Is it black or that black?
That one's black.
That one is?
No, yours.
Mine is. Okay.
Yeah, because that was because you're the same age as me, right? So that was your.
That was my last year.
This is the end of junior.
That's it, yeah.
So is Metro 2 going to be the debut of Open Genge?
I don't think so. No.
Cool. I got a chance.
I think I'll just hold off till nationals.
Makes sense.
So that's late
Because your
February.
numbers are all still good, dude.
Yeah, I'm still.
Go right
I'm
Nats.
not qualified for Open Nats. So
That's
that should be fun.
Moose Jaw this year?
That's Moose Jaw.
Yeah, so, me and Genge, same age range, same weight class. Almost 800 total versus my 500. Genge doesn't
You'll
go.
get there, man.
It's one less block that I have to worry about for podium. Now I just have to hope John doesn't do it.
That'd be cool if John did it.
Yeah. Well, right now, from what I've heard, there's John and Will, and Travis is between going as a 93 or a 105.
That'd be nice.
So me and Travis are roughly like
Yeah.
on the same level.
Yeah,
So
I've seen you guys training.
it will be a battle for that third.
I think you should do it at 105.
I'm doing it as a 105.
You are, yeah.
Absolutely.
How's your weight
Sitting
now? Like, do you
10
usually sit at 105?
103, I think, this morning.
Okay.
I'm sitting heavier than I was like last year.
Yeah.
Because I know last year when I was prepping for meets, I was like 1.
Yeah.
And then it was like 3 weeks out, and I was like, yeah, I'm like 100 kilos. And you looked at me and said, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, I usually sit around like right now I'm 109 and a half maybe.
Yeah, you sit high for a 105.
Yeah, I usually sit pretty heavy. I just find training usually goes pretty good at that, and
Cutting isn't too bad.
yeah, I don't find cutting takes too much out of me. What I've learned from like these couple last international meets is travel is hard when you're cutting. Like that 32 hours or whatever of travel, it took a lot out of me. And even water loading and stuff like time change, you got to look at all that stuff. There's just so much that you don't think about that it's like if you get a chance to do it international, it doesn't matter what it is. I think you should do it just for that experience, because I felt so much more comfortable going to South Africa after Malta, just where I've learned so much in Malta and I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. Whereas going to Worlds, I didn't know what was going to happen weight-wise, how much water I was going to hold at the travel, all that stuff.
So Junior Worlds was your first
Yes.
international meet?
Yeah.
Which is still crazy, though.
Yeah, it was, Worlds was fun. It was, I probably had more fun at Worlds, I'd say, even though I had a better meet at Commonwealth. It's just pretty fun being around, like, the best juniors in the world. It's just...
Yeah, I can imagine that. I've seen, like, some of the juniors are just getting scarier and scarier.
So strong.
There's that guy from, I believe it was Denmark, who totaled, like, 8-something?
It was not low 9.
Low 9s, yes, sorry.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah, that was...
he was the guy to beat that day, but nobody could do it.
So have you always competed as a 105?
Yes, I did one meet as a light 120, a local one in I did the first base St. George meet
Oh, okay.
as 120, and
Just didn't want to deal with cutting or
yeah,
anything.
just wanted to do it for fun, kinda. So I said I don't really want to cut, but I think I'll probably end up at 120 eventually.
Actually, it's a good transition now into the Instagram questions, because one of the first questions I got was Lucas asking what the pipeline to the 120 squat record was going to be.
Just probably it's not that high right now, so it probably should just be a piece of cake. Probably a walk in the park. It's only Lucas, so not a big deal really.
Now I got myself thrown into that corner of the Instagram questions, so now I gotta try and remember what they were. I know Adrian Dubin asked what the plan was for Nats, if you had a total in mind, or if that's still being kept under wraps or anything.
Not really. It's not really under wraps. Like, it's a bit too early to say, just where I am still kind of getting back from Commonwealths. Like, I'm still in my first block back. Like, I have week 4 coming up now, so I mean, it's really early, but the goals would probably be like, I want to be up there with the top dogs in squats. I don't know who's gonna go to this Nats because it's not an open worlds qualifier, so I don't know if like Walter and Stanley Leadis and those guys are gonna go. But I mean, I'd like to prove myself that I can still squat with the open guys, and then bench and deadlift, probably just see what's there, see where I'm at the time. North Americans would be nice to get a spot at, but it all depends who wants to go. I know there's going to be a few guys ahead of me in 105, so we'll see.
See what the plan is.
Yeah.
James asked how you became a squat specialist.
That's a great question.
I also asked how you maintain the curls.
That's a secret. I cannot give that one out. That one's top secret, and I can't give that information out for free. So, but squats. I don't know. I've always been athletic. Like, I've played sports my whole life. Like hockey, I guess, had a lot to do with it. But I think it's mainly just my leverages, man. Like short femurs, just built for squats. You can just see on deadlifts that like just short arms and everything, like it just doesn't work for me really. But squats I'm built for, and I like squats. I tend to be able to handle a lot of volume on squats, which works for me, and I don't get too beat up about it. With like my back half sets are usually sets of 7. Like,
yeah, you do a lot of volume.
Yeah, like yesterday I had a triple at 267, and then a single at 285, and then I had ascending 7s for back ups, 3 sets of 7, and they got up to 235. And like, I don't feel too bad today. Like, it's just, I'm lucky enough that I can handle that kind of volume. And it does work for me. If not, like, I'd have to cut it back to like whatever 4s or whatever. But yeah.
Well, you can survive it, take it.
Yeah, see what you can handle at the time, and just like, I only squat twice a week. It's not like I'm one of those guys that squat 3 to 4 times a week. So yeah, that's probably why I can handle that volume.
3 isn't fun.
What's that?
3 isn't fun.
No. Do you squat 3?
Yeah.
How's that?
It was bad when I was trying to, because I was trying to do it. I don't like having my split in a way that I have like an isolated day, because I train 5 days a week, so I really don't like having rest, train, rest. But I ended up doing that just so, because if not, I had to squat 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Like, our big squat day is Saturdays.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, so by the time like the Tuesday squat rolls around, I'm exhausted.
So what do you squat Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday?
Yeah.
And what are your Tuesdays and Thursdays usually?
They tend to be all over the place. Sometimes it's volume, sometimes it's just a lot of like climbing singles or climbing doubles.
Okay.
And my squat's in a really weird position now anyway, because I'm still dealing with like the ankle recovery and stuff.
Right.
So like my whole beginning to squats is all like deficit squats and heel up on plates. And
so what happened? What was your issue with your ankle?
so I don't know if you remember or have like noticed when I squat, like my knees shoot inward a lot.
Yeah.
So what it is I walk with my feet pointed outwards.
Okay.
And it's caused a lot of weird development in my ankles.
Right.
But there's like no mobility in my ankles.
I've noticed that on your deadlifts. Your feet are...
Yeah, or my deadlifts, yeah. Work with Kyle Goss at Momentum. We've been working back and forth, and found a majority of the issues coming from my ankle mobility. So we've been like slowly implementing rehabbing and stuff.
Okay.
And ways to just free up movement in my ankles.
And that's going good?
It's going good so far, yeah.
So your Tuesdays and Thursdays, are they all low bar as well, or do you have a high bar day?
So it's usually both on each days, but again, I'm fully off low bar right now. Like, I'm only just getting back to heavy high bars, and then when I meet with him again in a couple weeks, we're going to see about getting back into low bars.
Okay.
because we were trying to look at lower because like my shoulder positioning was super weird.
Yeah.
But we're thinking a lot of that was because I was unstable through my ankles, and I was compensating with how the rest of my body moved through the movement.
Mm-hmm.
So I took like 3 weeks off, pretty much went from the ground up, had to like rebuild my entire squat.
Yeah, you squatted yesterday for the first time in a couple weeks.
First time actually doing like a squat day, yeah.
That's good.
And I had 170 on my back with the Metro shirt on, which I thought was really funny because last time I squat that heavy with that shirt on, it was
third attempt at
it was
cross.
175 at Metro, so almost a year ago. And now I'm taking it for doubles, so
yeah,
it was kind of a fun.
And it was good too.
Yeah, it was. It was really good, really fast. That was the third triple or the third double.
Okay.
The last 3 doubles of the set, of like the day. And that was the fastest one, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Did you do any volume after that, or just the doubles? And
Just the doubles. Yeah, Saturday for our Saturdays, because I mean, like my Saturday hasn't changed much, even with changing up coaching and stuff, because I kind of just went with Kev. Like me, Kev, and John have kind of always had the same Saturday. We just have big squat, big deadlift, and then go home.
Mm-hmm.
So that is like the one day that's remained the same no matter what.
Right.
It's the one day we don't do a whole lot of back off. We don't do a whole lot of like accessories. We just kind of go in, max out, go home.
Yeah.
Because again, for me, where like the way everything's structured, I just need to go home and recover, because then I'm gonna have 4 straight days of training. I'm gonna have Monday to Thursday of straight training.
So Monday to Thursday and then Saturday.
Yeah. I probably could split it up in a way, because my Monday I just bench and my Tuesday I just squat. And I mean, I guess if I wanted to, I could move both of that into Monday and then take a rest Tuesday, but then I'd also just lose my mind sitting around the house
Right.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I enjoy just the 5-day.
Do you?
Yeah, I enjoy 5-day training.
Yeah, I'm on 5 right now too. I have been for a while.
I like it. I don't do a whole lot besides train, so
Oh, okay.
I find 4-day training, I'm just kind of sat around.
Right. What do you do for work?
IT with Eastern Health.
Okay.
So, yeah, I spend enough time sat around at work,
Yeah.
fixing computers and stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, because that was actually a good question. A lot of people said I should ask guests. So we'll go into that. Is how work affects training. So for me, again, IT it doesn't.
Right.
Like I find it really doesn't. I was at the health science last week for just a week helping the guys out, and I found that affected it more because it was just a bigger building, a lot more movement. I was just eating a lot more before the gym just to get my energy back up.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I haven't had an issue. How about you? How does work affect training?
Yeah, so I'm a power line technician, so it definitely affects training like a nice bit. It's a pretty labor intensive job, long hours, usually 10 to 11 hour days, 5 days a week, plus overtime. So,
Especially living in Newfoundland.
yeah, so I'm used to it now, but when I first started, it was rough. Like, didn't really have a routine going. Like, I used to go to work and then come home and like lay down and get lazy and then have to get myself up, go to the gym. But then it'd be late by the time I got home, and then like sleep like 5 hours and then do it again. And that was not it.
Snowing?
It is snowing.
That's bullshit, dude. It's like the 3rd of November.
So yeah, and then I got a routine going where I go to work and then come home, eat, shower, go to the gym, and try to get home early enough that I can eat and go to bed and get like 8 hours of sleep. It never really happens, but you try it and just do what you can with it. You get used to it. Just my advice would just be get a routine and stick with it, and they'll get better.
It's just a matter of finding what works for you.
Yeah, for sure.
So are you a later lifter, like later in the day? Like
Usually
evening?
weekdays it's like 6:30, and then probably get home 10ish on my longer days, and then like shorter days, like 9.
That's
And
not
then weekends is usually around 2:30. So Saturdays are my big day. Is my big squat day. So like, there's a lot of times where I'll finish at like 6:30.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Now that is with like a big crew, and we're all like chit chatting and stuff. Like I could get it done in 3 hours, but just usually no rush on those days. Just
And is that then accessories after that, or is that just going straight home and eating?
no, that's accessories after that. So we don't have much stuff at Club U for accessories. So a lot of us got a membership at Ignite there in Paradise.
Ah, okay.
So we'll just go there
Just
after.
transferred over, I guess, once the gym transferred.
Yeah. So we'll just go there after, and it's only like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, they're pretty close, so
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
And you do accessories too, or?
Yeah. So not as much as I used to since starting with IBW, just because the work volume has increased a lot. And like I said, especially I've been really slacking on leg accessories due to the fact of 3 squat days a week.
Okay.
The fatigue carryover tends to be a little intense if I'm like doing heavy leg press or anything.
Right.
Now, obviously, I've been doing more leg accessories the past couple weeks because nothing else to do. But yeah, definitely not as many accessories as I should. But, you know, that's powerlifting.
Yeah, I think like when I started taking my accessories seriously, I could like see a big difference in where training was going. Even for like health, like it keeps everything healthy, just keeps everything moving. Gets in positions where like you're weak for powerlifting, and obviously just builds muscle, which never hurts in powerlifting.
Yeah, that was the big thing I noticed when I made the switch to sumo was I pounded accessories hard when I made the switch to sumo, just doing like ab and adductor work, because pulling conventional for 2 years, those muscles were just like completely untrained. Like they never really had much exposure. So
Yeah, just squats. I guess.
switching to sumo like was a big wake up for those. So there was a good couple months where I was hitting those like 2-3 times a week just to train them up.
How do you find that switch to sumo?
And I'm finding it way better.
Yeah.
Just like my proportions and stuff, I'm finding a lot better. It's a lot more comfortable lock. Obviously, it's less travel. Everyone will have the same opinion there, is it's less travel, meaning it's less work overall. But just like the length of my arms and like the length of my femurs and stuff, it feels a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much caught up now to where conventional was. So
Yeah, I think everyone should try probably both at some point. Whether
I think it's the same as low bar, and it's something not that you like. There's people who say they can do one and can't do the other. I don't think you should ever say that you can't do one. I think like biomechanically you should be able to do both. Like if it's a preference of which one you like is fine, but I feel like everyone should at least try both.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't hurt to mix it up in training either.
Like I've even tried sumo before, and I'm not built for sumo at all, but just like after meet or something, it doesn't hurt to try it. Just don't be dumb about it.
Yeah.
I just want to max out the first day, but
I know my first day of doing sumo, I did 315 for 9 sets of 3 just because I was like trying to like learn the movement pattern. So yeah, like you don't have to max it out your first day of sumo or anything.
Right.
And especially a big thing, I know people make the mistake when they make the switch and they get injured and they switch back to conventional or vice versa. They'll go out and expect to do the numbers that they do in the other lift right away, and then, like you said, get injured, and then they get turned off from the movement.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
And for me, it was almost a sign that sumo was going to be the way to go, because when I did my first meet at Metro, I rushed the hell out of my setup on my 3rd deadlift.
Okay.
I came out, I grabbed the bar. Like, I think if you look at the clip, I'm sure I can bring it up, I think the bar hits the ground. Like, I lay it back down and the clock says like 53 or something, which means I went out, grabbed the bar, pulled, and laid it back down in like 7-ish seconds.
Yeah.
Depending on like the delay and stuff of the screen. So I rushed and I went kind of wider, and I think After that, we kind of like experimented with like more of a hybrid kind of like frog stance where feet were kind of wider, but I was still pulling it like a conventional.
Right.
And then after that, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to try sumo, and that's kind of where it progressed from there.
Did you start sumo when you were with Tom, or did you when you were just doing your own thing?
It was the in-between phase.
Right.
It was like during that summer, when I took that summer off and was just playing around doing, because like I had a bunch of traveling and stuff, so I was like, I'm going to take a summer and just have fun.
Yeah.
Huge mistake, by the way. I completely forgot that deloads exist. Didn't program myself a single deload, so by the end of summer, I was cooked.
That's bad, yeah.
It's important, kids. Do deloads. But I was like, I'm going to try sumo. Because John, at the exact same time, John looked at us one Saturday and he was like, I'm going to pull a conventional. Just see what I can do, see what happens. So I was like, all right, well, if you're going to do that, I'll pull sumo.
Yeah.
Just, again, to see what happens.
Just for fun, yeah. How did John like conventional?
He's kind of like bouncing in between. He's not sold on one. I think he's probably going to stay sumo.
Right. His sumo is very nice. He got a beautiful sumo pull.
John has just a nice pull because John is so gentle when he deadlifts. Like, John will like politely lay the bar back down. And I need to get more used to that when it comes to rep work.
Yeah.
I'm way too aggressive on the down when it comes to like deadlift rep work, and I'm like having
find it hard to get back into
like
position.
Resetting a lot. Yeah.
I found a lot with that, like with rep work, is taking breath at the top instead of the bottom. I found that's really good, and then just kind of drop it a bit slow, and then just pull the slack and go again.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody was like kind of changing stuff up, and then like there was a block where like the entirety of the IBW guys, everyone had their deadlifts flipped. Like, I don't know if you've seen a couple weeks ago, like say like everybody, like Lucas was pulling conventional, and like actually some people made like what seems to be like a permanent switch from that.
Oh yeah?
Because I know Trev is pulling sumo now.
Okay.
I noticed that the other day when I was leaving. Trev was pulling sumo. But yeah, like I was saying, it pays off to be able to do both movements. And if you never like experiment with the other one, you'll never know if it's like your stronger movement.
I know Jordan switched not very long ago too.
Yeah.
To conventional. His conventional looks good.
His conventional looks really good. So I got some like speed round questions.
All right.
One of them was already answered. That was evening or morning lifts.
Mm-hmm.
You said you're
usually evening. Yeah.
Evening. Evening or morning person?
I would say evening. Just like usually when I wake up for work, I'm obviously very tired. And then in the night, I find it hard to get to sleep just because I'm so wide awake. So I would say evening.
And go-to PR song.
Oh, that is a good question. I'd say Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. You know that one?
I don't think so.
You should try it.
Wait a minute, y'all thought I was finished. When I bought the ass tomorrow, y'all thought it was rented.
I'll throw it in.
I squat 320 to that song in training.
Shit.
That was supposed to be a double, but I missed it. I missed the second rep. So maybe don't try it.
Maybe try it on a single.
Yeah, maybe try it on a single.
Fuck, marry, kill, squat, bench, or deadlift.
Oh. All right, I'm killing deadlift. I will fuck squat and I'll marry bench.
Despite being a squat guy?
Yeah, just because squats are hard. Like even though I am a squat specialist, say, squats are hard, and there's just days where you go in and like if externals are off, I usually find squats hit the hardest just because where there's so much to it. And there's so much energy being put into the squat, where bench is, I don't want to say you can get lazier with bench, but like you can get away with more on bench if something is off. And bench usually is pretty loyal to me. Just I know what works, what doesn't. Like I have a bench single on Sundays and Tuesdays. I know that my Tuesday bench single is always better. Don't know why, but it is. And I just know my bench more. There's some days I'll go into squat, I'll feel good going in, and it's just everything feels heavy. So yeah,
Makes sense.
bench more loyal.
Favorite accessory movement?
I would say chest supported row or single arm tricep extensions with the cables.
I can't stand chest supported rows, man.
No?
Wait, are we talking dumbbell or are we talking machine?
Machine.
Okay, machine, fine.
Yeah.
I cannot do dumbbell. I don't know why. There's no comfortable way I can get my legs and feet where my feet don't cramp solid.
Feet cramp?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know. I've also been dealing with crazy bad cramping this week. I don't know what it is. Nothing's really changed in my diet. Nothing's really changed with work. It's the same diet I've had for months, but like this week I have been cramping bad.
Yeah.
So like I have pre-workout with salt and EAAs in it in this door, and I have a Gatorade with salt in it in that door for when I go train after I drop you off.
How much water do you drink a day?
About a gallon.
Okay.
That's one thing that came from 75 Hard that never really left.
Yeah.
I stopped it for a little bit, realized I was still filling up like a 2.5 liter like Supplement King jug, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go back to drinking the gallon, and if I'll fill the gallon up, and if I don't drink it, I don't drink it.
Yeah.
At least it's full and I have it, and then I just ended up drinking it the whole time anyway.
What part of 75 Hard did you find the hardest?
Well, that's a good question. In the beginning, it was definitely that.
Yeah.
Trying to get your body used to drinking that much water.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of water. There was a lot of pissing in the beginning.
Yeah. I usually drink about 4 liters a day.
Well, I think a gallon's 4.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So yeah, you probably know the same thing. Like when you started, it was not fun.
Have you ever water loaded for a cut?
No, because I've never had a cut.
Yeah.
For me, at my body weight, to cut would be fucking stupid, because if I were to cut for a meet now, that's 9 kilos.
Yeah, it'd be down to 93.
And it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see how obviously Metro goes. I might start training then. Like obviously, there's not enough time to do it now, really. But I think post Metro, I might start training more at like probably 106, 107.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, it was just trying to get up to fill 105 now. It's hard. Like you said, doing 75 hard, losing that weight, and then watching the scale go back up. My brain's only just kind of getting over it.
How much did you lose?
40 pounds.
40 pounds. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I was 260 something when I started. So it was a good chunk of weight, and being a fat kid all through school, like it was like finally having that gone, my brain was like, I don't really want to gain it back.
Mm-hmm.
But then there comes a point too, it's powerlifting. There's only so much you could do at a certain body weight.
Yeah.
Like there's only so much you can do, and scale only tells half a picture as well.
Mm-hmm.
You could be 105 and be very different builds. You could be 105 and be obese, and you can be 105 and be absolutely huge. Like so I was like, I'm finally now letting my brain settle into the fact of it's okay. And I also just switched my scale. I have a digital scale, so I switched the scale over to kilo, and it makes it a lot easier to watch it go up.
Yeah.
Because rather than seeing it go up by like 2 pounds, it goes up by like 0.8, and I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to what you said about the hardest part of 75 hard. By the time I reached like day 50, just like continuing.
You found it hard to keep going?
It was hard, man.
Man, I would have thought at that point it would have been a breeze. Especially
like the calorie cut. I took the calorie cut way too fucking far, and then still tried.
How much were you eating a day?
Like 18, 19. So like It was, now I'm somebody who has a slow metabolism, so that's not too far. Like my resting now is around 2,500 calories.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I have an extremely slow metabolism,
That is low.
which sucks. Like my heavy training days, like my class days, so Wednesday, I did a full day of eating. I'm actually like supposed to be editing that today, but I'm probably not going to. I think I had about 3,700. Was a heavy training day.
Okay. So your rest days and your training days are like a big difference, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, like my resting metabolism is about 2,600 calories.
Okay. Yeah, because my heavy days, I'll have like 3,700, and then on my low days I'll have like 32.
So are you with a nutritionist, or are you just kind of doing your own thing?
I was with a nutritionist from when? I say January till now, and I'm taking a break right now with a nutritionist because she's going back to do her master's, so she's taking a little break from doing stuff with online clients. So, I mean, I was like, yeah, it's a good time right now anyway. Like, I got an off season. I kind of know what I'm at anyway right now.
You got the basic skills.
For a cut, I do like a nutritionist. Like, just take care of everything, and you tell me what to do, I'll do it. It's just nice having that kind of trust in someone to, like, even if this sounds weird, just do it. It'll work out, kind of thing. And I did 3 cuts with her, and they all went really well. So I was comfortable with her.
And yeah, like, I mean, that speaks for itself, because like you said, you do like fairly big cuts going into meets.
Yeah. And I mean, I've cut from 108.5 to 105 in 2 days without dropping any calories.
Wow.
Like, no calorie deficit at all. So like it is nice just having someone that knows what they're at when it comes to that.
You also said she, which means like you're like the first powerlifter I know to have a nutritionist who isn't furry.
Yeah. Yeah, so my nutritionist is actually from Australia.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Bit of a time difference there to deal with.
Yeah, so is my coach, so it's challenging at times, like setting up calls and stuff. It's either late in the night for me or early in the morning for me. Just that's when they're up. You know.
Yeah, it's always fun to base stuff around. I was playing, like, I used to do a lot of Destiny 2 raiding over COVID, and majority of the guys I played with were Australian, and it was the same thing. It was like they'd either just be getting up to go to work, and we'd play for like, and I'm getting ready to go to bed, and we'd play for like a couple hours, or like vice versa, just because the time difference is insane. 13-hour time difference.
Yes, it's a lot. I don't know if do their times change, do you know?
I don't think they do daylight savings, so
No?
it might be like 12 hours in the difference now.
Yeah, I gotta figure that out.
So we went to my girlfriend's today for brunch, and I was like pulling into her driveway, and I forgot to set the clock on this, and I looked at the time and I went, oh, I have to like swallow down breakfast and leave because it was because of daylight savings. I didn't know daylight savings was last night.
Oh no?
Didn't have a clue. I woke up and my girlfriend was like, yeah, all the clocks are wrong, and I was like, oh, I guess. Then I checked my phone. I was like, yeah, daylight savings happened. I have no idea.
This nice extra hour of sleep.
Yeah, not for us. We were up anyway.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Which it makes a lot of sense, because now looking back on it, it felt like we were up for a long time for it to only be 2 o'clock.
Do you usually wake up early?
Not usually. She's much more of a morning person than I am.
Oh, yeah?
It's like, I'm not a morning person, not in the slightest.
What time do you start work usually?
So when I was at the health science, it was 7:30.
Yeah.
But when I'm based out of Pro Square, which is where I usually am, it's 8:30.
8:30?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Which makes gymming a real pain in the ass, because Reps isn't necessarily a commercial gym, but it's not like you guys with like Club U.
Yeah.
Where it's fully private. So like getting there around 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Busy.
Kind of sucks. But it's also the benefit of being with Tom, is you
got that little room.
We have the room.
Yeah.
Accessories are a pain, but my workouts are long enough that by the time I hit accessories, people are gone home because it's like 7 o'clock anyway.
Yeah.
Because my powerlifting alone, I'm not somebody who's super swift with powerlifting.
Somebody that's what, sorry?
Like super swift.
Oh, okay.
Like for me to get through it, it takes a while, and
Yeah.
I could speed it up, but I also find like I recover better, I perform better if I just take whatever my body wants me to take in between sets. Like I'm not somebody who's just like sat on my phone on a bench scrolling.
But you do take your time to rest between sets.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's I'm sure it's the same as you find with training with a club, you guys. It's almost like that kind of blessing when you're training with a big crew.
Mm-hmm.
Like by the time it gets back to you in rotation,
right,
you have that time to rest. You're like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, it is good. Like Sundays, it's usually like me and maybe Robert or like Tanner or someone, but it's not like a big crew on Sundays, and I find it's definitely harder to pace yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there's 3 or 4 of us on a bench, like it's usually go, and then by the time it gets back to you, like you said, it's good. But by yourself is hard. Just
pacing is really hard, and it's kind of hard to nail down with powerlifting, especially like depending on how you are. Because like my warm up sets, I can like, especially with bench, I find for like my first 3 warm up sets, I can just knock it off the bench and I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I can lie there, let the guys load the plates, rep it out, load up more, rep it out. But like once it starts getting beyond that, it's like, all right, I need to take a breather. And again, if you don't have people with you, it's really hard to pace yourself. Because then you're like, okay, well, I feel like I've taken too long, or I feel like I haven't taken enough, and it kind of just throws a bit more monotony into the lifting. So it's always nice. I mean, I'm not somebody who likes lifting alone anyway.
No.
I don't. There's days
I'm
where
not
it's
a huge
nice.
fan either.
I just want to go in and get it done, but for the most part, I prefer lifting with somebody. It's also just the security. I feel stronger with a spotter just because of the fact I know I don't have to worry about re-racking it.
Do you still train out with like John and them sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, so Wednesdays are the class days. That's like always in the room. And then Saturday we usually do out front with John and Greg.
Okay.
Like me and Kev will train out front. Yesterday, neither of them were in, so we just trained in the room.
Right.
But usually we'll train out front, and same as I see now that I work a 9:30 or an 8:30 to 4:30. Like I miss training with them a lot time wise because they're off earlier in the day. They train around like 3 o'clock ish, and I usually only catch them in passing because I don't get to the gym. I work at Mount Pearl and train on the East End. So like it's 5 o'clock by the time I even get to the gym.
Yeah, you go straight from work to the gym?
Yeah. Because I live in Petty Harbor, so it's...
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass for me to, like, I'm very much a person that, like, once I leave the house for the day...
You don't want to be back until everything's done.
Yeah, just because it's so out of the way.
Yeah, you just want to get back and you're back for the night then.
Yeah. So it means I just kind of resort to doing everything at once. If I lived closer to work or the gym, I'd probably, like, eat in between. Because especially trying to like hit maintenance calories and stuff when I'm not in a cut, or like now when I'm trying to fill out my weight class, it makes not eating much between work and the gym makes trying to make up all those calories when I get home like a nightmare.
Yeah.
So it took some real time to get used to. There was a lot of nights when I was trying to figure stuff out and pace food through the day and plan food through the day. Where I was just going to bed with an awful stomach just because
just stuffing it all
the
in
amount of food you eat before bed. But yeah, because the big thing for me was class day Wednesday is a huge day.
That's primary deadlifts?
Primary deads and secondary squats.
Okay.
Or no, primary bench and primary deads.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big day.
So it's a huge day. Especially if it's stuff like board or 3-stop bench or anything really like wears you down. Mm-hmm. So having to like readjust food for that. And I've also just resorted to the powerlifting mentality now of same as everybody. I just have a bag of rice cakes in the gym
just
bag.
Keep you going.
Yeah.
So do you have any goals set for Metro or?
Like
numbers wise? So I know you're not completely sure who's doing it right now and not. So
Yeah,
placing's kind of hard to.
I'm not too worried about placing anyway.
Yeah, you're just focused on what you can do.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's my first competition as an open, going into a whole new field of, well, same as yourself, it's going into a whole new, like, bracket of lifters. I'd like to have, we'll see how, like, the recovery road goes and with squats and stuff. I'd like 200. I think 200 isn't that far of a stretch to even ask for, and I just think it would be cool as hell.
Yeah.
No real goal in mind with bench. I'm just kind of letting bench do its own thing, because the bench it's its own beast. It's hard to grow. It's hard to predict what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And ideally 227 or better.
500 would be
on
cool.
dead. I would love to have a 500 pull.
You pulled 500 in the gym before?
Nope. The most I have pulled ever for deadlifts was props.
Oh, really?
And that was 215 conventional. And I've pulled up to 197 now sumo.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Like, sumo is pretty close. And that was after a day of deadlifting. Like, that wasn't like me.
Wasn't fresh.
Yeah, that wasn't me planning to build up to a single. That was just me climbing my singles at the end of the day. I feel like there's sumo right now. I'm pretty confident in saying that if I like prepped for it that day and actually like planned my warm-ups out that day, I could probably do a 207 sumo now.
Okay.
Like, I'd be pretty confident in saying that. But we'll see where Metro goes. Like I said, no huge goal going in mind. I was really worried about on-call, actually, if I was going to be on-call during Metro.
Oh, you have to do on-call?
Yeah, we do it once every 6 weeks.
Okay.
So it's really hard to predict when it was going to be.
Right.
So my brain was worried it was going to be when Metro happened. And then it wasn't. And then my brain went, shit, am I going to be on-call during peak week? Because last time I was on-call, it ruined my training.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just having to get called out and like having to like say we do a lot of remote stuff like password resets and stuff, but like it's quick work, but it's still like 15 minutes.
Right.
So like you cool off a fair bit, especially if you're like benching or something and don't do anything for 15 minutes. But we're my on-call week is during taper week, so it's nothing really.
Yeah, you can manage that.
I can survive.
Yeah, I go on call every 3 weeks, and it's not too bad in like the summer months. Like, there's a lot of weeks where we won't even get a call out, but
Now
in the winter,
with winter coming,
yeah, it can get pretty rough at times.
yeah, because Newfoundland weather is not known to be reliable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got Metro's the next goal, and I don't even know. I might not even do provincials this year. I'm not sold on it.
No?
We're going to Mexico in May.
Who, you and your girlfriend?
Yeah. So I'm either going to sabotage the hell out of my training,
Yeah.
or I'm not going to enjoy my trip. And
Right.
if I'm going to an all-inclusive in Mexico, the not
Yeah.
enjoying the trip part is
Doesn't sound fun. Yeah.
it's not in the picture. So
When did you say that was?
like May.
Okay.
Like beginning of May. So it might still be doable. Because provincials is usually beginning to middle of June.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it would still.
I'll still probably do it.
Yeah.
Now, this could all change too, depending on how many local meets we have, if they do a qualifying total for provincials this year.
Right. What's the qualifying total for provincials? You know? I'm not sure.
I to be fair, I don't think it's that far to reach because I think Easterns is only 5. I think Easterns is 580.
Oh, okay.
580, 590. So like, which would mean provincials would have to be less than that.
Probably around 530, 540.
I want to 547 is in my head,
Okay.
which I think is, well, it would be there given the numbers I said earlier because 200, 227 is 427 there. A 120 bench is kind of big, but we'll see. I haven't done anything even close to maxing out bench in like forever, so I have no idea where I stand bench wise.
You've been doing like a lot of volume.
Yeah, a lot of doubles and a lot of triples.
Okay.
It's like it's really hard to base. I know you can use an online calculator, but I've never used one of those, so I have no idea how accurate they actually are.
I've seen them work for some people. I've seen them not work for some people. You know.
I think it ultimately comes down to the lifter.
Yeah. If you're good at volume.
That's the big thing. Yeah. So, any meets for you planned other than that? So is it then just keep your head down and grind?
So yeah, Nats, and then see how that goes. If North Americans is an option, I'll look into it at least. Not saying I'll do it for sure if I can, but I'll see who's going and whatnot and go from there. Besides that, I would probably just say Nats again here, which would give me like a long off season, which would be nice.
Are we hosting the next Nats?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Now I've heard that, but I don't know.
God, that could get real exciting for this series if that's the case.
And then a couple of us talked about Easterns in Nova Scotia before like 2026 Nats. Just if we do want to do a meet, we would just go there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes, like if that actually falls through or whatnot. But yeah, just I think it's gonna be like Open's gonna be a few years of just Nats.
Yeah,
Before I'm competitive enough to fight for international spots, really.
makes sense as long as you keep qualifying for the next Nats.
Yeah.
Which I mean, way CPU's going, they keep pushing the bar each or a little more each year.
What they push to now? 7:30?
I think it's 7:30 for us now.
Yeah.
I know we didn't get screwed over as bad as like the 83s and 93s.
Yeah.
They had huge jumps in like national qualifier totals.
They just had so many people going.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, they're like the big weight classes anyway for like men's division, like 83s and 93s.
I mean, you think about like the average male are usually around that weight anyway. So.
Exactly. Because I said earlier talking 105s, but I mean like for 105s here in Newfoundland, I can only think of 4, 5 maybe. Well, Travis is kind of in between, like on what weight class he's going to do. John doesn't know if he's renewing his membership, so that only brings it down to 3 that I can think of.
John doesn't know if he's renewing?
No, he's not sure that he's going to renew, but we're trying to convince him into doing Metro too.
Why? He's just not sure if he wants to keep going with it, or?
Yeah, it's just a money thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, competing is expensive.
It is.
But yeah, for like 105s, I can only think of, not counting the 2 of them, 3 of us. That's me, you, and Will.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably it.
That's like, I was talking to, you remember that sub-junior who was like super strong from provincials, Lucas Baldwin?
Maybe.
A tall guy, like kind of my height.
Glasses?
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to him and like he's aging up because he goes reps now. He's aging up into juniors and he was talking to me about powerlifting and stuff. He was like, yeah, like, like what's around for juniors for like my weight class and stuff. And I was like, dude, if I'm being honest, I don't know what's around for juniors anymore.
Is he 105?
He's 120. I was like, I don't really know what's around for juniors. I knew me, you, Alex.
Not many. Tanner.
And like, me, you, and Alex are out this year? Or
No, me, you, and Tanner.
Me, you, and Tanner are out this year.
Alex got another year.
So it's like, I don't really know any juniors that are around.
No, there's not a lot.
Which kind of sucks, but, you could always do more with more powerlifting here.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I know in, like, spots like Ontario and stuff, they have meets every weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, they'll fill up, like, right away.
We have Bay St. George.
Yeah, we're lucky to have 3
And
locals
Metro.
a year. Yeah. Yeah, Bay St. George, Metro, Provincials.
Yeah. And Metro's only, like, recently.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is only the second one now coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exciting. I don't know what the full plan is for Metro yet, because I don't even know. I had to try and figure out like a handling situation, because I think TK's competing.
Oh, yeah?
I think so.
I'm sure there will be a few guys around to handle.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be somebody.
I'm handling. Like, I'm not
You're not
hosting
running it this time?
No, I'm just too busy, man.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, I don't want to commit to handling or commit to me directing and then leaving the guys out to dry. Like, if I'm not able to give
Something
like
comes
even
up.
like an hour a day,
Yeah.
like, I don't see the point of really doing it. Like, there's a lot to hosting a meet. Like, a lot of stuff that you don't think about.
Yeah, it's one of the things. It's like one of the big things. I'm having Chris on, not next month's episode, but the month after.
Okay.
And like that's one of the big things I wanted to like talk to him about was like the whole meet directing side of things.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to plan the series out, and I was like, okay, Kev's idea. Me and Kev have been buddies like the whole time I've been at reps. We could just talk.
Yeah.
We could have a great yap session. I was like, after that, I was like, okay, Genge is just coming off 2 meets.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about that and how that transferred over with training. And then after that, I was like, okay, who's next? I was like, okay, YOLO has Worlds.
You got YOLO after Worlds?
YOLO's coming, yeah, so when he is competing in Worlds, me and my girlfriend are going to be in Edmonton seeing Zach Bryan, so we both get back like the same week. So while we're still like light, both of us are kind of like light tapering back into training. We'll get an episode in.
That should be fun after Worlds.
Because talk about Worlds, I talk about the difference between like equipped and raw and stuff, and then Chris. And then I think after that, the plan is...
Chris can yap too. Chris will be a yapper.
I think after that, the plan is probably best lifter of Metro.
That'd be cool.
If I can nab whoever it is.
Who would that be?
I don't even know who's that for.
The 93s, I guess. Whoever wins the 93 will be up there.
I was going to say James is definitely
TK will be up there if he does it.
TK. Dryden's probably going to be a good fighter for it.
Oh, Dryden's doing it?
Yep. So...
Yeah, Dryden will be up there too.
I think Battle for Best Lifter at Metro 2 is going to be... It's going to be a fun watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I might just try and get James to record one while he's here anyway.
That'd be cool, yeah.
He's a great guy. I've chatted to him a fair bit over Instagram.
Yeah, I handled him in Steveville.
Oh, for Bay St. George?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a great guy.
He is, yeah.
Only been competing as long as I have, which is crazy.
He is strong. He's going to be, in like 2 years, he's going to be like up there.
Yeah. Which is great. It's great to see new faces coming into Metro. I know a lot of people said that Metro, the first Metro, was a lot of people's first meets.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like out in Bay St. George, it was a lot of people's first meets too.
I noticed Bay St. George too has a lot of like youth and like sub-junior lifters as well.
Yeah.
Which
there was like kids like up to here. Just
yeah, I remember watching the stream and like we're talking kids young enough that like the bar is being switched out.
Yeah. Like they had a 5 kilo bar out there and it was like close to the same size as like an Alico bar or like a regular comp bar. And me and Lucas and Dryden went over and lifted it. And it was like so weird to lift.
Yeah, so
it feels like hollow.
It's nice to see the sport growing though.
Yeah,
especially that way. Yeah, I don't know who else I want to have on for guests beyond that. I think that's the next couple plans. Right now, it's still like I posted the other day. It's only going to be a once a month thing because I don't have time to put into doing it any more than that. I'd ideally like to do it more, but
you could get Lucas on.
Lucas is definitely going to be on.
I don't think you should get Lucas. I like chirping Lucas. I told him my favorite thing to do is to chirp him and not be able to back it up.
No evidence.
Yeah, just like I'll tell him like I told him I was going to take his squat record and I'm like not even close to it. But
so that's the whole
my favorite thing to do. Yeah,
that was the whole question of the 120. Okay, now I got some context behind that one. Yeah, Lucas. Maybe Atwood.
Atwood would be cool.
Just to talk about like again different training because different federations and stuff.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't know. Obviously, I'll have some repeats at some point, but again, where I'm only doing once a month as of right now.
Evan or Robert would be cool too. Have you ever talked to them?
Yeah, not like outside the gym, but
yeah. Yeah, they'd have a lot to talk about too, just where they've been around for so long.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It'd be nice to get somebody with who's been competing a while.
Yeah.
because like majority of powerlifting like around here is like our age range.
Yeah.
Like within a couple years of like
Yeah,
us.
probably from like 22 to like, even 30, say.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of older lifters around anymore. There's a few, but
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of like older open lifters.
yeah.
Like there's a big gap in age from where like kind of open cuts off for people who are actively lifting,
Mhm.
and then masters.
Yeah.
Like there's not a whole lot of people like in like mid 30s, like late open, around lifting anymore.
Yeah. Like Robert got a few years left. Evan is 33, I think. Yeah.
What's the cutoff? 39, or is the cutoff the year you turn 40?
Yeah, so you can, I think the year you turn 40 is your last year, or the year you turn 39 is your last year. But like you can still do.
You can
Open,
compete as an open. I think we're at the point of time now where we're gonna see a lot of Masters records soon start skyrocketing. Because like I don't know if you've looked at the Masters records. They're not
like provincial records?
Yeah, they're not insanely high.
No.
Some of them are.
I guess like Jeff and Tom got their classes, but besides that is.
Yeah. Besides Jeff and Tom, I feel like a lot of them are gonna start moving once people start aging up, which is exciting to see.
It is, yeah.
And I know like a lot of once you reach the point of Masters, it seems like it reignites a fire in a lot of people.
Yeah, they're competitive again. Like if someone, say they started at junior, I know this doesn't happen a lot, but start at junior and make it to master, like that whole time is open.
It's a drag. It almost feels like there should be another age class
Yeah.
in powerlifting, because it's 15 years or more.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're
15 or
gonna be
16.
24 next year.
Yeah.
That's the first year of open, up to like we said 39 or 40, so 15 or 16 years. Wow,
Yeah.
that is a really big stretch of time. Because after that, it's 10 years, right?
Yeah, I think it's 10 years for each master class.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely could look at putting another age group in, but whenever the IPF changes something, it never usually goes over well.
It always blows up.
Look no further than bench
Yeah.
and the inconsistencies of
Open Worlds was bad.
open world is bad.
Like
yeah.
there's a couple females there that just, it was bad.
Have you had any issues with it?
I haven't. I had to change my bench up a little bit, but like not. Like I only had to start flaring a bit more instead of like being a bit more tucked, just because like they're a bit deeper when they're flared.
Mm-hmm.
My elbows, and I started sinking for a little bit, and then didn't really like it, and started hard touching. Like I fooled around with it a little bit, and at Worlds, like I touched with a harder touch on my opener, just to get on the board and see like
Where they
if I was gonna get any reds, because my bench is like it's very close. Like one elbow is like a lot higher than the other, so I was just gonna see how they wanted to judge that. So I just touched with a bit harder, but not much. Like I know a lot of people had to change their bench completely.
Yeah, I know the bench ruling. It seems like it affected females
Yeah.
a lot. It seems like a lot of girls had to completely overhaul bench.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you said, there's still, like, Open Worlds was bullshit. There was a lot of calls where, I know, I always think back to a post Phil had on his story,
Yes.
where it was somebody's second and third. One was a good lift,
Yeah.
and one was reds, and there was no difference in the two pictures.
Yeah.
Like, it's strange.
It is. It just sucks. Like having not even like a gray area, but like just getting screwed over by that so much. Like there was an Australian girl who bombed because of it, and like you could see, like according to the rules, like the picture the IPF posted in like the bench depth rules, was higher than her elbows on all her attempts, and she got all reds.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense. And especially when it comes to that, when it comes to like completely bombing out,
Yeah.
because of it, it's like it gotta suck.
And like the way it happened to her was terrible. She got 2 whites
And an overturn,
on every attempt.
and every one of them got overturned.
Every one of them got overturned.
Yeah, so like that gotta just feel like shit, man. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of overturns that are just
The jury was nuts at open worlds.
yeah.
Like if you got 2 whites, like you got.
If you got 2 whites, you missed.
Yeah.
That's how it seemed.
It was rough.
Like I know the big one that sticks out in my head for an overturn was Russ's squat that got overturned immediately.
Yeah.
Like he was still on the platform.
Yeah, it was.
It was overturned on depth, I think.
It was, yeah. And
Ultimately,
it turned out like
it didn't
that was
matter.
a big call.
Yeah, but I think I had a discussion with the guys. I don't think it mattered in.
You think Jurgens had enough anyway to pull it?
I think Jurgens had enough to make up the pull.
Pull 360 or whatever he
Yeah,
did. Yeah.
because Jurgens' pull was
Yeah, it
was insane as is. It's almost as insane as like Anna breaking the floor with
yeah.
400. I fully thought that was a placeholder.
No, he always does it. He'll just load up whatever he needs and miss it. But if he does end up pulling it, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, a 400 pull is gonna be insane.
I'm excited to see the 93s next year, or the 83, sorry.
Yeah,
Just see who goes from the States. Like, there's so many.
yeah.
Like, I don't know if like Joe Bornstein might go.
It's interesting to see who's gonna go for what countries and see what's gonna change. And I mean, everything like it's just interesting to see where stuff's gonna be next year because I know there's the whole talks of Taylor coming back.
Mm-hmm. He competed at 83.
Yeah. But there's talks of Taylor coming as a 74, I thought I heard.
Yeah.
And running
Good.
with Perk.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. Powerlifting it's just getting exciting.
It is, yeah.
Like there's some insane stuff being moved. Even here, like
even in Canada.
Like I know a couple of the supers, like we're getting it seems like we're creeping very close to soon seeing like 1,000 kilos be broke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it'll be too long before Willis at least loads it.
Yeah.
Like before
What did he
Willis
total at Nats, you know?
at Nats, I don't remember. I think it was 940 something at Easterns.
Okay.
But I think 1,000 kilo in Canada is soon going to happen, which is going to be insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Eric or Trevor.
Yeah.
Or Jay.
It'll be exciting.
Yeah, that session was nuts. That 120 and 120 plus session at Nats this year.
Yeah. The 120s getting thrown in with like Bryce and Lucas and like getting thrown in with 120 pluses. It led to an insane. I remember just like sitting in bed and watching. Like,
Both the endings were so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy to watch.
There was a lot of good sessions at Nats. Like, the 105s was nuts. The 93s was good. 83s were good. I just wish all the 83s were healthy.
Yeah.
Like Nick Manders and Jansen and them.
Well, how long have we been going? Hour 10. Yeah, I guess we can head back now.
Sounds good.
Any predictions or any things you think are going to happen for Sheffield?
I think Shell Backlund's going to win.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be that close, to be honest. Other than that, Perk, like if he can get to where he was at in the USAPL, when he told that 851, he'll be up there. I think Emil Krastev in the 93s has a good chance of like being right up there too. Gustav is going to be there again.
But it does seem like the going consensus is that Becklund's gonna.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty easy for him.
I think so.
It's just the cut right now. Just him versus the cut.
And like I know a lot of people have money on him, but like Jesus' performance last year was not great. He was really jumpy. He was really jumpy with commands. I don't know. I'm excited.
I am too. On the women's side, I'm not too sure. I mean, whatever Agatha does is probably gonna win.
Probably. Yeah, I had never heard of her last year.
Oh, no?
Like up until last year, so like going into it, I was like, yeah, it's based on how her training is gonna go. It's probably like Evie's looking like a strong contender again.
Yeah.
And then Agatha came out of nowhere. Have you heard her training scheme?
She does like 5 SBDs a week and then a bench or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I do 1 SBD a week and I'm like, yep, I'm done.
I don't do SBD.
I don't either normally. I'm just like in the one time I do have one.
Yeah.
Like when everybody was at Nats, we did an SBD day just because we, the vibes of just watching everything at Nats. That Saturday, the day of the 105 or the 120 pluses, we said fuck it. We grabbed our singlets and we went and did an SBD day, and I was like rope for 2 days after. So I don't know how she handles 6 SBD days or 5 SBD days, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's nuts. But some people can handle it, some people can't.
Yeah, it all comes down to training style. I know, like Blake used to train like
Blake Barrett?
Yeah, he used to do bench like 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Which I could absolutely never. I bench 2 days in a row now, and it's
How many times do you bench a week?
3.
3.
Bench 3, squat 3, dead 2.
Yeah, I squat twice, I bench 4, and I deadlift 1.
Bench 4? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I bench Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
How do you find the back-to-back?
Wednesday can be rough at times.
It all just depends on what.
Yeah, Tuesday is my primary day. So I have a heavy single on Tuesdays. And then Wednesday is usually 2 count. It's like 2 count 5s now. So it can be rough at times, but adjust if you got to.
2 and 3 count 5s are always awful because you spend so long counting. You're like, all right, how many reps is this?
It's just so much weight with time in your hand, or so much time with a weight in your hands.
Yeah, it's just how many reps has this been now? I'm trying to trim it for an Instagram story. And it's
speed it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you training today?
I'm actually not looking forward to it at all.
Or do you got a catch-up day because you don't usually train on Sundays? Do you?
I'm doing Sunday's usually my rest. I'm doing a CrossFit video with Steph.
Oh.
So at the time this comes out, that'll be coming out next week.
Nice.
Not looking forward to that at all. She's not human.
No, she is. She's not.
So I'll see how that goes.
But you did it in like the CrossFit room?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll see how this goes and see how rote I am for training tomorrow.
What do you got tomorrow?
Tomorrow is just bench. So it should be fine. Bench and chest success rates. And worst kind of worse, I can move it to Tuesday if need be. I always find our day 4, which is our last squat bench day, is always like rough. So I always tend to. It can be done in one day. I always just personally split it to be the Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Again, half because I just want to train 5 days a week, and then the other half just because, if not, at least be benching 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Which I did last week, and it was awful.
I went to when I went to Stephenville, like I missed a couple accessories, and I didn't do them on Monday when I came back. Like Sunday night, I had to do some to catch up, and then Monday again, finish them. And like it took me like a week to fully like recover from like that switch. It's nuts how different it can be, just switching your days around when you're used to it. Like it just.
Yeah, you get really in the groove of how stuff is.
Yeah.
So what do you have now?
I have bench single, and then back out 4s.
Not too bad. Well, anyway, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks
Of course,
for
man.
getting
Thanks for
coffee.
having me.
Absolutely.
Of course, thanks for the coffee.
And yeah, like I said, I'll have people on again. So Genge will probably be on again after the next national win.
That'd be cool. In 10 years.
After he breaks Lucas's record, I'll have both you guys on for a little
Little fight.
backseat fight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good one, man.
All right, you too, man. Thanks.
Later on.